I am going to make a Square One artwork inspired by this photograph. The theme I'm suggesting this year is something to do with winter. So it could be a winter holiday, or it could be a winter scene, or a winter creature. I have some sketch paper, and I'm gonna plan out what I might want to draw. So right away, I'm gonna make a little guideline for myself. This is where the fox could sit. And then I'm gonna look at, this is basically a big rectangle. So I'm gonna do something like this. This will be the general shape of my fox. There's kind of a bump here, and then there's some triangles. And I'm drawing really lightly. You might not even be able to see this, but this is how I started the drawing. And now I'm gonna go in and change it a bit. So now I'm pressing harder, and I really like the fur. So I'm gonna show something. I could use the side of my pencil. So now I'm just planning out in black and white what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna really do the color now, I think. That's kind of boring. I could do something. I think I want to make my lettering more funky. So I'm going to erase that and change it. I'm going to erase gently because this is very thin newsprint paper. But as I was doing this, I got the idea, this could be more fun to do, like a fun font or something. It was good to get a few days away from this because I'm noticing my sketch, there's something that's a little off compared to the photograph that I like in the photograph. I like how this is kind of an angle and this is an angle, and in mine they kind of the body comes straight down. So I'm gonna give myself little directions to do something like this. And then I could either erase this or just remember that that's what I want my fox to be a little bit more like that. Now the body looks too small, so I think actually what I'm gonna do is extend it out. So just a reminder to, sometimes it's good to get away from your art for a bit and then look at it with fresh eyes. I was also thinking that this looks a little bit like sad. So in my final, I want to find a way to I want to make this look a little bit more cheery, I think. I think it's kind of this that makes it look sad. So I don't know what I want to do with that. Next step will be I'll start to draw onto my final paper. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut this out and see how I might want to arrange it in my final piece. So I might want to find a way to make my fox look a little bit cheerier. I don't know how I could do that. I could put like a smile, even though that's not in the photograph. I think I want it. So the goal is I'm trying to make something that I'd want to give as a gift. So most people are not going to want like a sad picture, I would think. You know, I could do that for a different project, but for this Square One art project, I want to make it more cheery, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out now. So I could have it here, I could have it, I think it would look good here. So that means I really need something up here, or I could put it right in the middle, but I don't like that. So I'm gonna put it like here. And then the question becomes, what will go up here? I'm going to lightly trace this general shape. So I'm thinking snow. Might be nice to have some snow. I'm gonna lightly draw with pencil, because I'm thinking what I'm gonna use for a medium for this is colored pencil. So I don't even really want this pencil to show through. So I think I'll go ahead and get my colors that I want to draw, and I'm going to put in some like first colors for my fox. I'm thinking instead of this design, I think I might do a more cheery lettering up here somehow. I'm not totally sure what it'll be. I'll create like a border barrier with the colored pencil that will help prevent the watercolor from going into my fox, because I'm thinking I don't want to do that. The other thing we want to remember is anything about a half inch all the way around could potentially get cut off. So anything that's important should not be right on the edge. I could do my name in clouds. That might be neat. Here, I'll practice it here. How would my name look like? Clouds. There's something kind of creepy about this, so I think I'm gonna go with that. So I think I'm gonna put my name up here as a cloud. And again, I'm going to use watercolor. So I've created a new problem for myself. And how am I going to keep these clouds from getting watercolor in them? So maybe what I'll do is, instead of putting watercolor up here, I could color the sky with my colored pencil, and below it, down here, could be a light watercolor wash of some sort. We have to make sure we don't go too lightly with the colored pencil, or it's not going to even show up on the printed products we get back from Square One. I'm showing the undersides of the clouds. So before I work on this fox, I think I might go in and put some paint in the background. So this is kind of like a little shadow. Now that's a little darker than I want, so I'm gonna go in and just put some super thin lines that have been diluted with water. And I'm just going really I went into my ear a little bit, but that's okay because that ear is going to be black. So really there's not much in the background. My details and intensity are going to be in my fox. If I wanted to, I could put some tone in the sky. That's looking a little dark. But watercolor dries lighter than when you first put it down, so that might be okay. Now I'm going to let this dry and then start putting details in my fox. Because I'm looking at my photograph and there's really no light blue in there. There's an eye. So I want to somehow make this look a little bit happier than the photograph. I won't make it frowning or anything. I love how the pear is wrapping just under the eye here. I'll put the snout down here. So I'm going to make mine look a little more cartoony, I think, by adding I'm going to add a smile, little smile line. All right, so now I'm just going to start building up my colors slowly with the colored pencil. Maybe I'll do time lapse for this part. At this point, I've been working on this for a while. I feel like I need to take a break, or at least take a step back and look at it again and see if I like what's happening with it. I had drawn some snowflakes. I'm gonna erase those. I don't think, although I could add snowflakes if I wanted to. That might make it more dramatic. This is a process of really slowly building up my tones in here, my colors. It takes a while with colored pencils, but you can get some really nice effects. So you can't really rush it too much. Just taking my time and slowly building up the colors. I took a step back and I decided I want some more shadows in my clouds. I'm gonna, I think I'll use colored pencil. Just wanna add a little bit, like the underside of the cloud would probably be darker. That's if the sun was above. So it's gonna make them look a little more three-dimensional. Little shading on the bottom. I chose the bottom and the right edges of my clouds. Try to make them look a little more 3D. That's the first thing that popped out at me when I took a step back. I don't know how much more I need to do with this. I do think the snow idea might be nice. I'm gonna take a step back again and see what I think. I think this could be darker. This is darker than this. I might go in. I'm gonna see if it looks good putting my some colored pencil tone up in here, darkening it up a little bit. I'm gonna put a little blue in the fur down here. A little bit of the light from the snow bouncing off onto the fur. Even though I don't see that in my photograph, might be a nice effect.
Just gonna put it down here on the bottom edge. Just a little bit of light blue.
I'm gonna work on this some more. I wanted to mention something that I forgot to mention. This is a copyrighted photograph. So when you do yours, I think I've almost copied this too closely. When you do yours, you want to find a way to change your image if you're using someone else's photograph. I wanted to be sure to mention that. Right here I noticed, I think the ear comes down. So I really like to draw things from photographs, but in this case, there could be a copyright issue. This is someone else's photograph. I might have copied it too closely. So I think I'm going to do some changes in this to make it a little bit different from the photograph. My picture's also my fox is pretty light colored. I want to make it stand out more from the background, so I'm going to add more color to it to make it contrast more with the background. I feel like I'm close to being done with my piece, but one thing that's bothering me is those light pencil marks I did at the very beginning are really showing up, unfortunately. So I'm going to see if I can erase that a bit and lighten it up, and then I'll have to recolor with my colored pencil. So let's see if this works. Yeah, this dark line is really bothering me. So I think this will help. There's that one, and there's one here. So I keep forgetting this. When you start your underdrawing, you probably want to use, I think a colored pencil would have worked better than a standard. That was a standard classroom pencil, and I don't think it worked so well. So now I'm gonna go in and add more color to my fox. That's the main thing I want to do. If you see this photograph, there's a big contrast between the fox and the snow, and mine, there's not as much. So I want to bump this up, maybe change this so it doesn't look quite so much like the photograph also.